Bharadvajasana, twist. The spinal rotation created in this pose is the sum of the small partial intervertebral movements, in keeping with the chain principle. For this reason, it may improve the quality of mobility of the dozens of small intervertebral joints and between the vertebrae and the ribs that connect to them in the chest area. The gluteus medius is stretched during flexion and lateral rotation in the hip joint. The muscle group that laterally rotates the thigh is stretched while combining hip flexion with lateral rotation.
Effect of vertebral rotation on respiratory functions. The lungs do not have the independent ability to increase or decrease their volume. They are activated as a result of changes in the ratio between internal and external air pressures that stem from reduction or expansion of the chest. Lowering the diaphragm towards the abdominal cavity and raising the ribs enlarge the chest cavity. This is accompanied by the inspiration of air.
Common problem: limited range of motion in spinal side flexion. Because one side of the pelvis is raised in this position, the general pelvic position is not symmetrical and more flexibility is required for side flexion of the torso, for compensatory balance. Functional rigidity and limited range of motion in side flexion limit the exerciser's ability to maintain midline balance of the spine, and the body tends to sag to the side. Solution: place an exercise cube or pillow under the side of the pelvis touching the ground. Elevation with an exercise cube allows the body to be held erect even when the spinal flexibility for side flexion is lacking. Common problem: shortening of the chest muscles and/or functional rigidity of the spine in the sagittal plane. Shortened chest muscles create a chain reaction that limits the ability to hold the thoracic spine erect. As a result, movement potential is low. The back tends to become rounded, and the body's center of gravity moves to the rear. In this situation, even the pelvis rotates to the rear, and this flattens the lumbar lordosis. As range of spinal rotation also depends on the extent of lumbar lordosis, it is important to perform the movement when the pelvis is rotated slightly forward so that lumbar lordosis is maintained. Solution 1. Place an exercise cube under the pelvis on the side touching the ground. Elevation with an exercise cube allows the spine to be held erect as the pelvis rotates forward. Maintaining lumbar lordosis in this position increases the range of rotation. Solution 2. Increase distance between the knees. By expanding the base of support, it is possible to lengthen the spinal position while maintaining lumbar lordosis. Solution 3. Elevate the supporting hand on the floor using an exercise cube.